up, swashbucklers? You're listening to Under the Crossbones, episode number 119. My name is Phil Johnson. I'm your host for the show. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for telling your friends all that good stuff that helps me keep the ship afloat. Because if you don't listen, I don't get to have a show. And if I don't have a show, then you don't get to listen. So it is a working together kind of thing that I can't find the right word for right now. But that's all right. Fun fact about the number 119. On an American quarter, our coin, there are 119 ridges. They're called reeds. And that reeding on the outer edge was there to prevent coin clipping, where they would shave off little bits of silver on the outside and then still pass the quarter off as a regular quarter. And we talked about that a little bit back on episode 111 with Sean Lockman. So if you want to find out more about coin clipping, go listen to episode 111 where we talked about how that was happening with Spanish coins back in the day. And now, even though there is no actual silver in our quarters, which means nobody would want to clip them because there's nothing of value actually in the quarter, they left the reading on as a tradition. And because the molds were there. And it kind of helps visually impaired people figure out which coin they're holding in their hand, too. So anyway, I found all that information on a Mental Floss article that I will link in the show notes so that you can find out all about coin reading. Because it's one of those things where your brain goes, I don't really need to know that, but I want to know that. So anyway, I'll link that up in the show notes. Show notes will be at underthecrossbones.com/119. My guest on the show today is Jesse Wilkes of the Pirates Code Beard Oil. And now you may be thinking, beard oil? How long are we going to talk about beard oil for? Well, I'll tell you what, this is actually a really good episode. Because not only do we talk a bit about beard oil, we talk about what it's been like for Jesse starting his business. It's a very new business. He's only about 5 or 6 months in as you're listening to this, or as I'm recording this. And so it's interesting to hear about the challenges he's facing as a new business. We also talk about why he started the business and the support that he derives personally from the pirate community and why he needed that support in the first place. So there's a lot of cool stuff in this interview. Yeah, we're going to talk beard oil, and we're going to talk beard culture and beard contests and all that kind of stuff. So it's a fun interview. Stick around for it. It's going to be a good one. We are sponsored today by TeePublic, which is a really cool t-shirt company that contracts with independent artists to create tons and tons of really cool pirate designs or t-shirt designs. I have curated for you over 100 really awesome pirate t-shirts. And these I haven't bought all of them yet, but I've bought some and I want some more because there's some really great shirts here. There's funny ones, there's scary ones, there's sexy ones. I put together a collection of over 100 really awesome pirate t-shirts for you, and you should see them. Go to underthecrossbones.com/shirt to see all the pirate shirts that I've picked out for you. And they're doing some sales. They're doing some, holiday week, Black Friday, Cyber Monday kind of stuff, whatever. So there's discounts available out there. You'll see them when you get to the site. But go to underthecrossbones.com/shirt. Pick yourself up a nice pirate shirt. They make great gifts for the pirates in your life or somebody that you would just like to inflict pirate stuff on. So how was your Thanksgiving? Was it good? Did you eat a lot? Did you eat until your peg leg was full? I did. I ate until both my peg legs were full and was regretting it the next day because my stomach felt bad. But it was good. We did the traditional turkey stuffing, mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, a little bit of protein and a whole lot of carbs, some apple pie, some pumpkin pie, all the good stuff. So just had dinner with my parents. Me and my girlfriend went over there and had a nice time with my Uncle Steve and his girlfriend Claire. We always have a few, non-nuclear family folks at the holiday things, but that's always fun. The conversation immediately turned to politics, of course, because that's what I'm sure every Thanksgiving discussion was about. But then we got away from it as quickly as we could. But frankly, in that group, we were preaching to the choir there, so there was no dissenting opinions, which makes it a little less contentious. Though I know I'm sure some of you had to deal with all sorts of contentious Thanksgiving discussions. So I hope you made it out in one piece and with a family still intact. So that's what Thanksgiving is now: is get out intact. Friday night, went and did a cool show in Oakland, California. Called Comedy Soup, and it was a little bit of a strange venue. It was in downtown Oakland, which is not not the best place in the world, not the safest place in the world, but parked my car, and we walked up to what I guess would be kind of an apartment building co-op. It was basically one of the old Victorians and been turned into separate abodes that are rented out. And we went up, we were greeted by the producer of the show. We went up to the top floor, and they had a little common area that sat about 15 people, say, and they served free hot dogs, and they had some beer, which was not for me, but we had some free hot dogs and some drinks, and we put on a comedy show in the top level of this old Victorian house. It was more like a house concert, but with people who really didn't know each other because they just showed up for the gig, and they packed the place. It was full. Packed. 15 people. It was full, and it was really fun. I got to do a bunch of new material that worked very well. So I was very happy about that. And it was just a cool little, one of those weird little gigs that comedians do that the general public often doesn't know about. It's not always, the 3 nights at a club or a theater or whatever. It's oftentimes the third floor of a weird Victorian in Oakland, California. And they're just as fun. As long as there's an audience there, we have a good old time. I do have some shows coming up. I got a few more headline gigs coming up before the end of the year. This Thursday, November the 30th, this was a last-minute link up because somebody else canceled. I will be headlining at Dave & Buster's in Milpitas, California. Yes, there is a comedy show that's happening at a Dave & Buster's. Dave & Buster's, if you have never been to one, is basically like a video arcade for adults who are still children. And anyway, they're having a comedy show at the one here in Milpitas, 5 minutes from my house, so I get to be close to home for once. And it's going to be a really, really fun show. So if you are near Milpitas, California, November the 30th, come on out, see me headline at Dave & Buster's in Milpitas, California. December the 2nd, I will be headlining at the Ukiah Brewing Company in Ukiah, California, way up there in winery country. I think I might have mentioned that was December 1st on the last couple episodes. It's actually December 2nd, Saturday, December 2nd. So that's Ukiah Brewing Company. December the 8th, heading out for Snowsville, I will be at the Courtyard in Andover, Minnesota. Headlining a show there, that's December 8th. And December 9th, I will be at VIP Pizza in Superior, Wisconsin. So, a couple of California dates, some Wisconsin, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. We could just combine it all into one state called Wisconsin. I think that would be okay. And more tour dates coming up, of course. Go to underthecrossbones.com, click on the tour dates button. You can find out where I'm going to come and tell jokes and sing songs near you. So what else did you do with your weekend? We went to see Coco because I have been waiting for that movie to come out. Why? Because it's about Mexican people who I love. It has guitars in it, which is awesome because I play one. It's a Pixar movie. How bad could it be? There's nothing. I had nice high expectations for this film. Unlike some other Pixar films where I've gone in thinking, I don't know about this one, and then they impress me. This one I was ready to be impressed right from the beginning. And so we went. Now everybody's upset about this Frozen featurette before the film. They're like, oh my God, it's too long and it's no good and blah, 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 blah. You know how the internet gets outraged about lots of things that they don't need to. So anyway, there's this Frozen short, a Frozen featurette. Now, when we think short, we're thinking the 6 or 7 minute Pixar shorts that happened before Pixar films. Well, this one they did was, I think, originally supposed to be like a TV special. It's an Olaf Frozen, and that's what it is. It's just a cute little, fluffy 20-minute TV show, essentially, and they put it up before the movie. And I think people are mostly angry because they weren't expecting it to be 20 minutes long. They were expecting a 7-minute long, 7-minute long short, and this was not. This was a featurette. 5 songs in 20 minutes is a little bit much. It didn't need that much music, and especially because the songs were not that great. There was not. I couldn't tell you a hook from any of them at this point. So there's that. But anyway, if you're going, know that there's a 20-minute short featurette happening before the movie, and there's of course trailers before that. So if you happen to show up late, you're not going to miss much. You could show up 40 minutes late and you'll hit just at the beginning of the actual movie Coco, which is fantastic. It's wonderful. They knock you right in the heartstrings at the end. The animation is beautiful. It's fantastic stuff. The plot is good. There's lots of killer music thanks to the Lopez's. The Lopez's they got another film credit under them. If you don't know, the Lopez's, who wrote the music for Frozen and Coco and a bunch of other stuff, their very first Disney film was the Winnie the Pooh film. And before that, they wrote Avenue Q. Yeah, Avenue Q, the super dirty Broadway puppet show. Which always makes me happy because it means there is a future for people who write dirty songs to eventually write for Disney. So there's still hope out there. But anyway, go see Coco. Fantastic movie. I loved it. It was great. And I don't have any plans to see any more movies, so I guess we can stop doing movie reviews at the beginning of the episodes for a couple weeks here. If you're enjoying the show, and I hope you are, come visit us over on Facebook.com/UnderTheCrossbones. On Twitter, we're at UnderCrossbones. You can follow us there. And make sure you're subscribed through Apple Podcasts or Stitcher or Spotify. We're on Spotify now. Stitcher, Slacker, Spotify, Podcast Addict, wherever you get your podcasts. You can click that little subscribe button, and then you will get all the new episodes automatically downloaded to your device on Tuesday morning when they come out, and you don't have to wait for them other places. All right? If you want to help support the show, that would be great. Go to underthecrossbones.com/support. There's a little PayPal box there where you can just drop in a donation of your choice, however much you feel is appropriate. There's an Amazon banner there. Doing your Christmas shopping on Amazon? I am. I know I am. Yeah, click that little Amazon banner on the page. And Amazon will then kick me back a few shekels when you go out and buy gifts for yourself and other people. And it's just that easy. It doesn't cost you anything extra. And if you want to be a sponsor of the show, that is easy, cheap, and other things. I don't know why my brain stopped working there for a second. But go to underthecrossbones.com/support, and I can hook you up with all that kind of stuff. All right, let's dig into my interview. This is my talk with Jesse Wilkes from the Pirates Code Beard Oil. We're going to talk beards, beard culture. We're going to talk depression. We're going to talk like how getting out of it. We're going to talk starting a business. There's all sorts of great stuff in this episode. So here we go. This is my talk with Jesse Wilkes of the Pirates Code Beard Oil. Check it out. So let's start with I want to start with a testimonial because you were nice enough to send me a small bottle of the pre-shave oil because I am not a bearded gentleman. And I did an A/B test with it, which means I forgot to pack it when I went on the road. And so I used it, and it was wonderful. It's fantastic. My girlfriend loved my baby soft face, and so it worked really well. And then when I did not have it while I was on the road, I went back to my same gnarly face. So it actually is a nice product that works very well, and I was happy to hear that. Tell me a little bit about what Pirates Code Beard Oil is as a company. What are you making?
What we do at Pirates Code is everything we have that you see on that Etsy shop site or on the Facebook page, we make here, or I make personally by hand.
Uh-huh.
I mean, down to every single bottle is measured out individually.
Okay.
There's no large batch, nothing. Every bottle is made by hand, and when that bottle's done, I start the next bottle. And that's every beard oil, pre-shave, growth oil, the shampoos. The only thing I make in relatively bulk size would be the soaps. I get 6 or 8 bars out of a batch. But everything I use it's all natural, which is the best part about it. There's no chemicals going on in your body. I get as much of it as I can where I can verify exactly where the product's coming from, such as my beeswax that I get for the balm. I actually buy locally from a honey farmer right here in Live Oak, Florida.
Oh, wow.
So everything I do, I try to do it just as best all natural as I can, which translates into really soft facial hair, skin, and soaps that wash really clean and don't leave anything behind. Unfortunately, it's the scent too that goes away, but it's a good trade-off for, really soft, healthy skin.
Certainly, yeah. Now, what is not being a bearded person myself, what is the purpose of beard oil? What's it for?
The purpose behind beard oil is a lot of gentlemen, when they start to grow a beard, after about a week or two, you get to a spot and your face just feels like it's on fire all the time.
Oh, okay.
It's crazy unpleasant. And that's usually where I stopped growing a beard and I would cut it off and just, start over, 5 o'clock shadow kind of deal.
Uh-huh.
But with the popularity of beard oil growing, we've had a lot more people start growing beards. And what it does is it softens the hair, which is a good thing. You don't want, a wire brush or something hanging off the side of your face. So, you get the soft hair follicles. It's almost like your head hair would be when you moisturize it enough.
Okay.
It'll exfoliate the skin underneath the beard so that you don't get dry, itchy patches, kind of like we call them beard drift.
Okay.
It's very similar to dandruff, just dry skin.
Uh-huh.
It'll exfoliate the pores and the hair follicles to allow easier growth and better growth. Because a lot of the times you'll get ingrown hairs or something when you're growing a beard, or it just doesn't grow some places for some people. And with the advent of the growth oil, we've kind of been able to come up with a natural oil-based solution that stimulates those pores and follicles and helps produce beard growth. I wouldn't say if you grow in like Joe Dirt, the beard oil is not going to help you.
Okay.
It's not a miracle thing, but if you're having just a little bit of trouble with, say, getting your mustache to connect down to the goatee, or just one little bald patch, the growth oil definitely helps. But where it really came in handy was the first time I grew my beard out during, from the start of the company. I started growing my beard and started making product. And my first big event was going to be Cedar Key, pirate invasion, but the hurricane had canceled it. So the day before I was supposed to leave to go to that, I was like, well, I got a haircut appointment. I'll go get a haircut. Without, not paying attention because I'm oblivious to everything. The hairstylist grabs her clippers and just goes and trims the beard.
Oh.
Yeah, like my beard was raped. It was a bad time. Totally unconsensual contact. But yeah, I had about a 4 centimeters length from the bottom of my chin at that point. And she took me down to straight, 1 centimeter of growth at the chin.
Oh my gosh.
Down to nothing. So I was like, well, this is a great opportunity to use the beard oil. I'll measure in a month, because this was like 3 months worth of growth to get me where I was. And I was like, well, I'll start using the beard growth oil, and it'll be a good test run to see if it actually works.
Sure. In
1 month's time, in 4 weeks, and I've got the pictures on Facebook there, I went from that 1 centimeter back to 4 centimeters in length.
Wow.
In a month.
That's crazy.
That was using that growth serum that I've got. And it just, you feel it working. You put it on, it would tingle, and you're like, oh, that's not cool. What is that? And then it would go away, and you're like, all right, things are normal. Throughout my testing phase, I was getting worried because it was tingling so much. I was like, oh, I can't sell this to people who are, think I'm burning their face off. But after the more research I did on products and tweaked certain amounts of what I was putting in, I managed to tone that down enough and still get the same effects out of it. And it's just what you're feeling when you use a growth oil is the pure exfoliation of the pores in the skin underneath. It's basically forcing that hair out of that follicle.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And that's all the different beard oils. They all have properties. They're all made, coconut oil, jojoba oil, really good high quality oils that a lot of high-end hairdressers will use on women's hair. Is what we actually use in our product.
Okay, cool. So now, why pirates? Tell me about your history as a pirate, how you got into pirates, and why pirates for this company.
I love pirates like my whole life. It never really was a big drawing factor. Like, I didn't think it was something you could do. Like, it was just like, oh, cool, pirates are, I didn't know people were pirates still.
Right.
So I'm on vacation, I'd say about a year ago, down in St. Augustine, Florida. And I was there for a concert. And after the concert, we didn't really have anything to do. We were still in town for a few days. So we booked a rum runner cruise on a ship called the Black Raven.
Okay.
Which, if you ever in St. Augustine, go on the Black Raven. It's a great time.
Cool.
But these were people that, full pirate garb. This is what they did for a living. They were pirates. And when I saw that, I was like, well, if they can do it, why can't I do something piratey and make money at it? Because I was like, that was cool. You get to just do this every day. Like, we're having fun. It something about it was appealing. You could tell these people were happy inside. And I wanted to be. I was like, I need that. I'm sick of working, fast food jobs or a chef job where I'm getting yelled at constantly. I decided to take a chance and go for it. So the next few months, I started looking up random pirate history. Really, not anything in particular. Just kind of learn more about it, because really the only influence I had was, up until that point, was the Pirates of the Caribbean Disney movies.
Sure.
So I was like, let me do some more reading and stuff. I knew who the big ones were. I watched Black Sails, things like that. So I knew things, but I wanted to know more. And the more I read about just the mindset of pirates and what it was all about and what they did it for, just to be free from the oppression of the government and all that. I was like, man, this falls right in line with, the way I even think politically. So I was like, whatever, man, I'm just going to go buy pirate stuff. And if I can go to St. Augustine once a month and dress up and just walk around George Street, it'll be a good time.
Sure.
Well, after I started buying this stuff, you realize you just spent like $1,500 of stuff.
Right.
Yeah. And I was like, I need to make some of that money back. That was a terrible investment on my end. So I'm sitting around and I'm like, my beard's growing in and it's getting itchy and I'm getting fed up with that. And I'm like, well, I just bought all this pirate stuff. I need the beard. And that's why I started growing the beard, is to look more piratey. I didn't want to be clean shaven.
Okay.
to go to St. Augustine and, for lack of a better term, screw off and do nothing.
Yeah.
So I looked online and started pulling recipes on how to make beard oil, and I found a couple that I really liked, and that's kind of how it started. I started making my own just small batches and blending scents together from essential oils that I bought around town, and eventually I came up with really good smells that I loved to death. So much that friends that have beards tried the oils too, and they loved them so much that they started wanting them, which made me have to start making more. So when I started making more, I was like, well, let me just, I'll buy a couple bottles and I'll bottle it up and I'll post it up for sale on Facebook or something, see if anybody's interested. I couldn't keep it in stock. It just flew right off the shelves.
Wow.
Well, out of the box. So at that point, I was like, okay, let me look into maybe selling this stuff and see what I need to do to sell it. And there really wasn't much involved on that end. So I started making it and got my business license, got all that tax stuff taken care of because,
sure,
can't be a legal pirate, I guess. But yeah, so I had to go through all that stuff. But and that's kind of how it happened. It was born out of my own need, and I use my product daily. So, I'm not giving you anything that I'm not putting on my face.
Yeah. What I think is interesting about that is that it was the sort of the coming together of two ideas out of nowhere, which is kind of one of the things that we talk about in writing comedy a lot, and even in just finding business ideas, where if you're kind of a dilettante about stuff and you're studying lots of different things and looking at lots of different things, eventually two ideas are going to coalesce into something that makes sense as a business or a written piece or a joke, or whatever it is that's being written on. So I think that's really interesting that you had these two separate things kind of happening, and then you went, oh, hey, that would be good if we stick them together.
That's kind of what happened. I mean, I was thinking at the same time, because they were on different paths at one time. The beard oil stuff had nothing to do with the pirate thing in the beginning.
Yeah,
I was trying to find a way to start going to some of the festivals and things like that, and maybe make some money while I was there to help cover some of the costs. And I think I had a couple, bad ideas. I forget what they were now, but that's how bad they were. They're not even worth revisiting at this point. And I was sitting there one night, and I asked a friend of mine who also owns a pirate-based business, Scarlett Deerheart, owner of Deerheart's Doodads. What is, do people sell, beard oil at these pirate festivals? Because you see a lot of Viking-branded beard oils.
Okay.
I was like, well, are there pirate-branded beard oils? Because I, didn't want to look myself, so I asked somebody. And find out there's really none that are part of the pirate community. Yes, there are some that are pirate-branded as a name. I think there's 2 or 3 that I found that relate to pirates, but they're not made by somebody who's actively being a pirate. They're not made to go to pirate festivals. They're not. It fits into that community. And the community is a whole other thing, which is a big part of the reason why I stayed where it was at the pirate thing. The support the pirate community has given it has just been tremendous.
That's great.
Rather than going out and buying a Viking branded beard oil, they've switched over to a pirate branded beard oil, which, fantastic for me. But at the same time, I've become friends with a lot of these people through the advent of Facebook, since that's where 90% of my advertising is.
Sure.
And a lot of these people have become good friends, and I've found out, the charity world in the pirate community is just endless.
It is. It's fantastic.
Yeah. And so what I decided to do at that point was kind of reflect on the Pirates Code and how pirates kind of split their profits. It was, equal shares. So what I decided to do was I split my profit down the middle, and 25% of all my profit goes back to charity.
Oh, that's great. What kind of charities are you supporting?
Everything. I've done stuff with the Children's Table for hunger. I've done animal sanctuaries. I've helped out at the Cape Fear Parrot Sanctuary with a donation. I just got done doing an event in Florida for Mr. Mystic Jungle Educational Facility, which is a tiger sanctuary.
Okay.
And just, getting back, if I set up out there something for an event they're having, they get 25% of the sales plus, I'm decking kids out in pirate gear. I had a bunch of little pirates on the tiger place. We did face painting, just stuff to have fun. Go out, have fun. You make a little bit of money, you make some friends, and you give back to something, which is even better.
That's really great. I'm happy to hear that.
Yeah, and that's really what the whole point of this now has become. Is it's no longer really a business adventure or business venture for me. It's more of just a way to help give back to charity a little bit. It pays my bills, and I can go out, make a good product, get some more beards on the streets because we love beards, and really, really get back to helping out people that need it. I've given money to Hurricane, was it Harvey in Houston? Yeah. Huge Hurricane Harvey victims. I donated directly to a family there.
Uh-huh.
We've given for events for Puerto Rico and PTSD. I mean, you name it, we've probably donated something towards it. In the first 3 months, I've donated over $2,500 to charity.
That's fantastic. That's really great. So what does your long-term vision for the company look like? What would success look like in say 5 years? That sounds like an
5
interview
years
question.
in success for me really would be, I don't want to be in the chain stores.
Okay.
I don't ever want to be too big to where I can't continue to make everything myself or with the help of a few others individually. I want to always make each bottle on its own.
Okay.
That way everything, I know it's all consistent. There's, and it's not a hard process to do. It just adds that little bit of touch to something where this was made for you by somebody.
Okay.
So I never want to get overly big, but I mean, yeah, success for me would be no more debt for the business, and we're able to actually afford to go to a lot of these festivals, because as I'm getting into it, I'm finding out that some of these festivals want $500, $600, $700, $2,200 in one case to set up just for a 3-day event.
Sure. Yeah.
And as a vendor, when your product maxes out at, $10, $12 an item, I'm looking at 200-300 bottles just to break even on the event. So what we'd like to do is get the internet sales up to a point where they would sustain us to start going out to the events that are bigger, and really transition over more at that point to just doing the pirate events, which is what I wanted to do the whole time, is just go be a pirate.
Right.
So, that's the end game, is just get to a point where I can hit as many events as I can and make a lot of pirate friends and find good things to give money back to, or where I can help out and stuff like that. And yeah, the beard oil is just going to be one of those ways that I can do that.
That's great.
The company itself is going to, we're growing. We've already had a couple of product expansions into the body soaps and the beard washes. I think the next thing that is going to come from the Pirates Code is going to be, we're in the works right now on making a giant pirate ship to bring to the events or set up at charity events. Basically, it's a big feather-like trailer. It's going to look like a pirate ship.
Okay, nice.
But, it'll be cool to have. Just I make very bad business decisions.
Those all sound like very genuine, well-intentioned goals, which I definitely
they really
like
are.
to hear.
I mean, it's all for thing. I mean, kids would love a pirate ship to get up on or take pictures on and stuff like that. It's something to bring people to the pirate community, make sure, get out from underneath that, they're all robbers and drunks kind of stereotype.
Right.
And, just get families out there, get, everybody involved in doing it. I'd like to see a lot of people come out to these pirate events and support local craftsmen, local economies. It's a really good way to help out people. And if the Pirates Code can help do that, then we'll help do that.
That's fantastic. So now, as we're talking here, you told me that the business has only been, a thing really for just a few months here. And it's always interesting to talk to people at that stage of their business where it's brand new, because we never hear, when you listen to these shows with entrepreneurs and things, it's always like, it was a huge success, da 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 da, and they never get into the problems of it. So what kind of challenges have you faced as a new business with something like this? What's been the tough part?
Getting out there. I mean, there's so many beard oil companies out there, and a lot of people are very loyal to their brands.
Okay.
So just winning people over from more popular brands, that was a big part of it, as one of the troubles, and of course, getting consistent product in when you're trying to first start out and you're, have to buy small batches of oils and, things like that, packaging. Sometimes you can't get the same exact brands back, or, things like that. So tracking down the actual supply lines.
Oh, okay.
And getting myself to a point where I run out of this and I order it, I'm getting that exact same thing back.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Which isn't a problem for a lot of people. Leather works and stuff like that. You can pretty much get a leather hide from anywhere. But with me, I've got to make sure that, I'm getting what I'm buying, and that's 100% pure natural oil.
Right.
Not cut down with any kind of acids or anything like that. So that's been a the problem.
Huh.
And then the rest of it has just been, it's all learning stuff. When, not making 4 trips to the post office a day.
Yeah.
That'd be great. It's little things like that they don't want to tell you that, they've done themselves. But there's been days where I was like, all right, well, I sold this gift set at, I got an order. I woke up to an order one day and it was for a gift set. I'm like, all right, let me pack this up here. I'll have to grab a cup of coffee, drop by the post office. By the time I got home, I had another order.
Uh-huh.
So I turned right around and went and brought that. I'm like, well, there's no way I'm getting 3 orders in a day.
Uh-huh.
That we're just too new. I'm not doing that today. Like, that's not. I haven't advertised. I didn't put any Facebook posts up or anything like that. Like, this is just a fluke thing.
Right.
By the time I got back the second time, I had 2 more orders waiting. So I was like, all right, no more trips today. I'm just gonna wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
And so I've managed to do that now. I only go to the post office 3 times a week.
There you go.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
There you go. See, if I had one of those stamps.com sponsorships like every other podcast in the world, this would be a perfect place to plug it in, but I don't, so screw them.
Where are they at? What are they doing? Call them out on it.
Oh, that's cool, man.
They would have a new customer, but nope, I'm going to keep using my flat rate shipping.
There you go. So that's a good problem to have. Certainly, is that you get too many orders coming in.
It is, but as this is all the one-person show at the moment, so it
right.
gets, overwhelming. Plus, we've got a normal life to live outside the beard oil.
Sure.
It's not like I'm manning the website or anything 24 hours a day. So it's a lot of the times it is like, oh man, I got to catch up and do this. But the good thing is, all my reviews have shown that my shipping has been exceedingly fast.
Uh-huh.
And best of all, I've got 15 reviews so far, and not one of them is under 5 stars.
That's great. And I imagine it's very time consuming just putting the product together itself.
It is. I don't make it all at once. The first time I had to make it all in like one go,
uh-huh.
Just to get a product line set up. So I had it. And that took me about 3 days to do.
Okay.
But now I usually just wait till maybe about once or twice a month. I'll look at my stock line, and then it's just filling in, bottles. I keep a set amount of each in stock.
Uh-huh.
And now it's just, okay, so a month has gone by or whatever. I've got to make 27 Nassau Shore beard oils, and just fill up the spots that have been sold. And just keep cycling the product that way. So I haven't gotten caught where I'm sitting here having to make like 300 bottles of beard oil by hand at one time again.
Uh-huh. You just haven't gotten that huge order yet. It's coming.
Yeah, it has. And I've had some nice orders. A WWE superstar, Trent Seven out of the UK, he works on their UK tours.
Uh-huh.
He's got beard oil out there in the UK. I've had a couple people in Germany and Berlin order. So yeah, it's actually gone worldwide, which is really cool. I've gone all across the US already. And I've gotten some decent sized orders. I'm looking now in the next couple months to probably start stocking a couple boutiques and some small craft stores and stuff like that out this way. Maybe through Gainesville and Jacksonville, Florida. But so far it's just all been mail order, but it's almost been hard to keep up with that. So I've just been taking it slow.
That's really great. I'm so happy to hear when things work. That's
yeah. My idea of working is relatively small, as long as my overhead's crazy little for a business as far as that goes.
Uh-huh.
So I'm able to, I guess, my rent is a lot lower than a normal business would be, because as long as my few credit card bills are paid and stuff on the business, I'm pretty much golden.
Sure. Yeah. Nice.
So it's worked out really well, and which has also allowed me to help out a lot of people. So it's all been a really big blessing and completely unplanned, which, if that doesn't say pirate.
Exactly. Yes. That's so great. So there's a crazy subculture around beards with beard contests and things like that. Have you been involved in any of that kind of stuff?
I've not done any beard contests yet, just because, as a guy, you don't want to show anybody anything too small.
Okay.
So I'm waiting to do a competition. I'd say this time next year, I'd probably be competition ready for a beard.
Okay.
Cool thing is, you don't see a lot of pirates at those competitions. So
Uh-huh.
I hope to be one of the first pirate beard contestants.
Nice.
Because, yeah, I love being in garb. It's every event. If the Pirates Code beard oil is there, I'm there in garb.
That's great.
Yeah, it's really just a big excuse for me to dress up.
I wonder if you can tell, because I don't necessarily understand the beard culture with the contests and things like that.
Sure,
what is the draw?
It's more of a brotherhood thing, I guess. There's always been social clubs, dating back forever. So the beard world has just kind of I don't know where it got real popular all of a sudden. I don't want to give the guys from Duck Dynasty credit for it.
Please don't.
But yeah, no. I mean, they got gorgeous beards, but yeah, no, they don't get credit for this. But yeah, some in the last, I don't know, 5-6 years maybe, the popularity of beards have come back tremendously, and then beard health has increased. And with that, we've always got to, have the best. The guys always got to show off what they got. So
Sure.
That's where the beard competition came from. Well, my beard's better than your beard.
Okay.
And that's really where it was born. But it's grown into now it's a massive, massive pop culture thing.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm part of a beard group that does a lot of charity work apart from the Pirates Code. And it's just this crazy sense of brotherhood.
Okay.
There's just a love there for people in general. Most bearded people you meet that are into that culture, you wouldn't meet nicer people. Now, don't go up to a biker with a beard and give him a hug and be like, "Oh, you're a bearded guy. Give me a hug." Oh, don't do that. But if there's a guy in a nice suit and he's got a beard, chances are he's in a social club that has beard relations, and he's probably awesome.
I find it interesting that people will find just about anything to kind of coalesce around as a group, where that's the real goal of it, is just to be around other people, which we can make arguments about, disconnected internet relationships and all that sort of stuff all day long. But those types of social groups, no matter what it comes around, is really helpful for people. Is that, were you in a place where you felt like you needed more social interaction like that?
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, the last year or so has been really hard with depression and anxiety for me. Probably even longer than that. And I don't even know, it snuck up on me. I don't even know where it started. I just remember it becoming a part of life. And I definitely contribute a lot of that to just being on Facebook and taking a huge step back from social interaction. I'm really not a big fan of going out like to, clubs or bars or things like that, or being social in general. But after high school and after the military, you just I felt like I was kind of just alone. Like I was away from all my friends, and, you talk through Facebook or whatever like that. But getting out and meeting new people was something I just really wasn't interested in. And yeah, with the bearded social clubs and the pirate community and things like that, I don't even think about depression or anything anymore. It's been crazy.
That's great.
But yeah, that's definitely a huge part of it has been social media and stuff like that. But you got to learn to balance both.
Yeah, certainly.
And there's a lot of stuff that I wouldn't have been a part of had it not been for social media. So you find that balance between, going out and doing stuff and meeting people. And I think having the company has helped me do that, because now I have to go out and interact with people and interact even children and stuff like that. I'm 32 years old. I've never been around kids in my life. I don't know if I never, I'm not a parent. I don't know how to handle children. So this has kind of given me, let me practice with your child kind of thing. And it's been great. I mean, kids love pirates for some reason. I can't figure that out. I thought we were supposed to be scary. So I'm kind of let down every time one runs at me smiling. I'm just like, oh man, I failed again. But they're so happy to see, and you give them like a little gold coin or something, and that's something that makes their day.
Right.
And that's what it's really all about. I go home and I sleep really well at night, knowing that, there's people out there that the pirate made their day.
That is fantastic. That's wonderful. And so, yeah, pirates and beards is the cure for depression. Who knew?
Yeah, that and rum. Yeah, it all works.
That and rum. This is great. So where is the best place online for people to keep up with what you're doing and where they can get your stuff?
The Pirates Code is on Facebook at the Pirates Code Beard Oils.
Okay.
With an S on the end, because I never thought it out real well. And it's the same on Instagram. And the Etsy shop, I believe, is exactly the same.
Okay, great.
They can all be found under the Pirates Code. Make sure you put the in there, or you get some weird stuff. Okay,
got it. All right, great. I will make sure to link up all that stuff in the show notes. Is there anything I forgot to ask you about that you want people to know?
We're not just beard oil.
Okay.
We've got soaps for ladies. Everything. All the soaps we make are lye-free, vegan-friendly recipes, and they're all made with things like real oatmeal and brown sugar or coffee or fresh citrus peel.
Nice.
They're really nice soaps, and I'm not advertising them as much. But, yeah, that's something for the holidays, guys. Buy your lady a nice soap bar. They love that stuff.
Absolutely, for sure. Oh, that sounds
You know,
great.
and then you can order some beard oil and they get the soap, and it's win-win. Everybody's happy.
There you go. There you go. So go get your Christmas gifts. Get that done. Get everybody beard oil and soap this year.
Beard oil and soap is the way to go. That's the new thing for, going into 2018 here.
Fantastic, Jesse. Well, this has been fun, man. I appreciate you taking the time to come on.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
You bet. I'll talk to you again soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye-bye. And there it is, friends. That is my interview with Jesse Wilkes of the Pirates Code Beard Oils. You can find him on Etsy at the Pirates Code, and also Facebook and Instagram, all those kind of places. The Pirates Code with an S, Pirates Code in there. And if you go to his Etsy shop, which is etsy.com/shop/the Pirates Code, don't worry, that'll be linked up in the show notes. You can use the code FLEET, FLEET. Use the coupon code FLEET to get 10% off your order. So if you know a bearded gentleman or lady in your life that you need a holiday gift for, go to the Pirates Code, and you can check out, you can get 10% off with Fleet. Buy them some beard oil. If you know somebody who's not bearded, buy them some of that pre-shave oil like he's me. That's good stuff, and it works really nicely. We are sponsored today by Pirate Radio of the Treasure Coast, WKKC-DB, playing the best music in pirate radio talk. You can listen under the Crossbones on both their stations. Just go to pirateradioofcoast.com or pirateradiotc.com, and don't forget to download the apps. That is the Pirate Radio Treasure Coast app, which is their music station, and the Pirate Radio Talk, which is their talk station. And, of course, you can hear Under the Crossbones on there. The new episodes are spinning 2 or 3 times a week, plus some back episodes, all sorts of stuff. I believe they've got Earwolf podcasts on there now, so lots of really good stuff to listen to on Pirate Radio of the TreasureCoast.com. Whose ad was that? That was .com. I don't know. Anyway. Sound like a commercial, and I can't remember which one now. Got an ebook for you. That is Alexander Exquemelin's Pirates of Panama or Buccaneers of America, a book originally published in 1678. Yes, pirate times. Yes. And Alexander Exquemelin was a doctor who ended up on pirate ships, wrote about his adventures and his experiences, and then put the book out, and it is still available for you to read. I have a beautiful little ebook version of it for you put together. All you have to do is go to underthecrossbones.com, click on the free ebook link, and you can get it right there. Or if you're out and about and all you have is your cell phone with you, we'll make it even easier. Just text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. Text the word pirate and your email address to 94253. All right, friends, that is the show for today. Thank you very much for tuning in. If you want to find out more about Jesse Wilkes and the Pirates Code Beard Oils, go to etsy.com/shop/the Pirates Code. That's pirates with an S. And don't forget to use that coupon code for 10% off. The code is FLEET, F-L-E-E-T, and that'll get you 10% off. You can get all the show notes for this episode at underthecrossbones.com/119. And if you want to find out any of the stuff that I'm doing besides the Under the Crossbones stuff, you want to see some of my music, comedy, tour dates, any of that kind of stuff, go to philjohnsоncomedy.com. And that's where you can see all the other stuff that I'm doing that is not piratey sometimes, usually. We got lots of great shows coming up, so definitely stay tuned. Next week, we're going to hear from Bullet Valmont from Imagine Pirates. We have the guys from Rusty Cutlass coming on pretty soon, which is the pirate band from Disney World in Orlando, Florida. And yes, Colin Woodard coming up, the author of Republic of Pirates. So lots of great shows coming up. Keep telling your friends about the show. That is the #1 super juiciest best thing that you can do to help me keep it going. All right, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.